Hello, it's B2. Welcome to another episode of Conflict of Nations World War III. We have started a new game as Vietnam, and I'm going to give you that number right now. It is 295 3943. So stay tuned for the beginner's guide. See ya. What's up, guys and girls? B2, and it looks like we have a game, 45 open slots. So we're going to jump in. Here's the number if you'd like to play along. We'll get in and start an alliance in. So let's go ahead and join. Yeah, we're not going to play multiple, so no worries there. Dun. And let's see what countries are available as we scroll through. So it's been taking a minute to load the games this morning. Afghanistan, Algeria. I don't want to play Africa this time, and I don't want to play South America. Let's look for something Europe or Asia, right? So let's see. Cameroon, Chad, Chile. Egypt is available. It's still Africa. Saudi, France, Finland, Germany, Greece, India, Iran, Iraq, Mali, Mexico, Mongolia. Mongolia is looking good. What is there? Are they a big or medium? They're a medium. So let's see if we can find a big here. North Korea, they're a medium, are they? Yeah, minor. Philippines, the medium. Let's see. Maybe Sweden, start up north. They're medium as well. Thailand, their Western doctrine, fighting vehicles, air mobile. Turkey, which doctrine? They're Western as well. Ukraine's already taken Venezuela. Vietnam. Do we want to? Let's go Vietnam. Let's go Vietnam. There's just some other countries that are close by. We're going to go ahead and do that and get out there. So let's see where it starts. It's a regular game too, not a speed game, not a ×4. So this should give us some time. And let's take a look at what's going on in this land and get a start, right? So let's see what the coalitions are. There's a European Union, one member, and a South America, Brazil, one member. So no big coalitions yet. Let's see if we know any names that are in the top. So I don't see anybody that I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty wide open game. I like it. Let's go ahead and get started then. I don't know the layout for Vietnam, so I want to just do a quick check. Hanoi is the capital. It's close to China, and China does have a player. So 9, they've already got 9 cities, so they're expanding on a big country. So let's go ahead. Let's patrol the border and make sure that we don't have anything going on there. And then let's get into, we probably need to get into Cambodia. So let's go ahead and do that. Can we go straight across? It's going to make us cross the water. That's fine. Let's go all in on it so we can take the country quick. So I can't get across. Can I get across there? I can, but that's nope. I don't want to anger Thailand. So let's come back down this way. And then what we'll do is we'll spread out from there, right? So we also want to set our research. I want to get my basic research on my infantry started. Not something that you start with on this one. You start out with, let me see. Yeah, as far as basic knowledge, we're going to go ahead and knock that out. That'll be pretty quick. I mean, it's only a minute 20. Crossing water. Trying to decide which way I want to go. I do want to get an armored fighting vehicle because there's going to be a lot of land. I don't know that we're going to want to go south, though. Like, are we going to run naval units and be able to land? I don't know that I want to do that yet. We'll end up coming down into here, Malaysia. And that's Thailand. Who is this? Myanmar. So those are going to be populated players eventually, but Malaysia won't be. But I'd have to land on the port early. I don't know what to do. Do I bring these two and go down to Malaysia and try to take that? I don't know that that's the plan though. I don't want to extend too far out and not be able to get my guys back, right? So let's just go ahead and hold right here. There's a computer player in Thailand, so like one thing you can do is set your attack to go in on them, and then if a player jumps in, they're already behind the gun, right? So we could do that, but we also could bring in one of you guys as a partner and then get a coalition going and be a lot stronger. So I'm going to wait on that. Let's look through how we're going to play this game, though. I know for a fact we're going to run motorized infantry out because that's just going to be the main thing as we expand, like on the map. There's so much to do around the rivers and stuff. I don't know that I'll want to make a southbound run. Maybe bring in Australia as a partner, and then have Australia kind of pick up New Zealand and all these surrounding areas. I think that's probably the better play. So I'm going to go outside of the naval. I'm not going to build that this time. I'm not going to worry about down here on the chain. So let's go into our next tree here. I want to bring out some fighting vehicles. Now, one thing that I'm weak at is killing off ground units on the offensive. I think on the defensive, I'm pretty good at it, hitting the terrains and getting the bonuses. But I think we want to have something that's going to be really packs a punch. Like if you have 2 ground units and 2 of these fighting vehicles in, something that's really going to do and give us some defense against some planes and stuff. So if we did that on the fighting vehicle side, let me see. Let's go down the tree a little bit. I think that was the highest was an 11, right? Yeah, the one that we just looked at would be an 11 on troops. Let's see if anything else gives us. Amphibious combat vehicle gives us a 12. And that gives us some bonuses in some areas like jungles. So maybe hitting the amphibious combat vehicle would be the best bet for knocking out troops later with a 12. I kind of like that. See, when you get into the tanks, though, you lose the ability to pack. Well, I mean, that's a 12, too, and a 15 there, right, on the battle tank. So let's see. Maybe the main battle tank is the way to go. Tank destroyer 6, but a 15. So I don't know why you would build this. It's a 6 here and a 15, but as you look at the top on the actual main battle tank, you're going to have a 12 and a 15, right? Probably takes some more resources. So let's see, 2,500 and around 1,250, 27. So let's look at this resource. Yeah, so that's why they're cheaper, but they just don't kill people. So if we run tank destroyers, if we ran tank destroyers, but we ran a combat vehicle in the group, then we can have bigger stacks too, right? Because if you have 4 tanks and four infantry over here, then your stack will get a modifier based on having a lot of the same units in a stack, basically, to different things. So we'd probably run our stack motorized infantry, the amphibious fighting vehicle, right? So, and then we're going to run AA and eventually THAAD. And then what we'll do is we'll think about what we're going to do for fleet or air after that. So let's run that out. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start on the mobile anti-air. This is going to give us some defense against the helicopters, right? So when you come out here, if I run out the infantry, they're going to have a little bit of fight back against air units, but just a little, right? So you're going to have, even if you had 4 of these, you'd have an 8 on a helicopter. Not going to get the job done. So then if I look at the tank, it's going to have nothing against a helicopter, like very low, if anything. Yeah, a 2 on it, but that's a defensive rating. So you're not going to be able to go and attack them, right? And then if we brought this AA in, if we did the mobile anti-air, this will get fixed wing and choppers, right? So if you go out to spread this out, it'd be a 9 on a chopper, 2 on a missile, which is good. You're going to need that late game, and kills troops, right? So that's pretty nice to have that ability. But it's going to do 7 on planes, 9 on choppers. And then eventually you'll pull the THAAD in, and at the top level on there, it's going to be your missile defense and your plane defense, right? It's going to see choppers, but it's not going to attack them, right? Because it just doesn't do the low flying stuff. So you'll want to have an anti-air in case you run into that, but you'll know like which countries are running choppers later on down in, so it won't get kind of crazy. So let's do this. We're going to go ahead and get a big chunk out, get the tanks rolling. And even at the basic level here, you're going to have an 8 against people, which is really good, and a 9 versus anybody that would try to do any type of armored fighting vehicle, which is up here, right? So even if somebody else runs that, now you'll be better off than just that. And because what it takes to build these doesn't use the supplies, it uses components, right? So now what we can do is get more troops out here, because this is going to require more components and fewer or more supplies and less components. You'd be actually able to get more units on the board quicker as you research them, make them stronger, right? So this is up. There's nothing else we can research, is there? Yep. So let's get we can't, because we're at 1200. And then here, so this is where I like to say at 5400, if you look at the market at early game, you're going to want to go ahead and make the purchases, right? To get over there. See, now we can come back in, go into our research, hit our AA, and start that. So now we'll actually have a stack with multiple infantry, a tank to get some punch power in there, and an anti-aircraft in case someone throws a chopper or a plane, because these will hit planes too, right? So everybody starts with one plane, you'll be able to take their plane out, which actually gives you access to see what's moving on the board. So now let's go ahead and start our cities, right? So we're going to want an army base in to start at everywhere, basically, because you'll need that to get rolling. And then what you need to do is decide where you want to have built, where your tanks are going to be built out of, right? So you don't want to raise everything to Army 2. It's going to just zap your resources and your money and manpower like right off the bat. So these will start coming back in really quick. It doesn't take much. So if you pull up your big city tab, you'll see that these are already like 20% done, right? Your first level military base is going to be super easy to get to and achieve, and that way you can start running things out. But in the meantime, we also need to look when you hit your growth chart here, where you can actually mobilize units. You'll have all your different levels, right? So now we've got this going, we've got our tank going, and we've got our AA going. These are kind of pricey, so you're not going to want a whole bunch of those, but you do want to put that in a unit to make sure. Now, if you don't have units flying around the board, just don't build any for right now. It's going to take an army base and an arms industry 1, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to look and say, like, fuel is easy to get, and end game you're going to have, like, in our South Africa game, we got 50,000 fuel saved up. We just don't have a big bunch of that. So what we'll do is we'll build our army base 2 here, and then we'll start doing our tanks out of Hanoi, right? They'll be closer to the front line because I think we're going to fight in this direction. So what we'll do is we'll put defenses down here, and then we'll move on the map to kind of move out from here. So hopefully we'll see what the coalition shakes out to, and we'll start land grabbing, right? We'll grab this easy, and that'll be components, which will be great because that will enable us to get out more tanks, right? With more components. So let's see, we're almost done here. Yep. So our army base has come out. We're going to do an army base 2 right here to get that started, and we're going to take a look at our supplies. We're doing okay. We've not run out. We're good on money and manpower. So let's go ahead, and that's going to take a day and 6 hours to build. So let's pop an infantry unit out of here, and then we're going to move over this way. We're going to go in and build an arms industry, right? Because they're mobilizing components. So let's go ahead and mobilize that. And then we're going to go to here. This is supplies. We're going to go ahead and build our arms industry out there, as well as pop a unit, because we just need ground units. We're going to replace the ones that we lose early. That's an important factor, because you don't want to go out, expand. You're going to need more of the tech stuff up here, the rare materials. So let's go ahead and build a unit, and let's check our supplies. We're still doing okay. We're running a little bit low here on rare materials, so we're not actually going to be able to build the next arms supply. We'll need 225, and that's okay, right? So let's look and say, can we pop another infantry? We can, and then I think we'll be able to get down here and pop another infantry. Yeah, so it's good. So the towns that we're moving out of very shortly, within 20 hours, you'll pop some defensive units in there, and that's the risk you take early on. Somebody could just send units over to take those countries. So that's what I would do from a beginner start plan. I would figure out what your ground units are going to be as far as infantry and tanks or tank destroyers, depending on what area that you're in and what you're fighting against, right? So this is a good early game strat. It's going to cover your defenses. You'll want to put like some AAs in these towns later on to make sure that somebody doesn't missile them or your THAADs, right? So you'll have a strategy, and what we'll do is we'll follow Vietnam through the course and make some suggestions. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. See ya.